they'll trample you. They'll trample you. You will get trampled like a wild stallion horse in the middle of a horse show. They'll trample you. The way that people will pick somebody apart, the ways people will pick their target apart, pick apart your personality, right? Pick apart your work ethic. Pick apart the way that you dress. Pick apart the way that you approach life. Pick apart your excitement for life. People will pick you apart so that you can doubt yourself and stop being you so they can be you. You see, I know this game. I may be young, but every experience I've had in my life from human beings, I've gathered them and turned them into commandments. I know people. Male or female, young or old, I know human nature very well. And I know how people will gaslight you and trample you, and how people will bully you into a corner to stop being who you are so that it gives them enough time to replicate who you are so they can reap the benefits. People will tear you apart for simply standing in your power. They're going to get in your head. That's why some people will you'll tell them what you're doing, and they'll be like, oh, well, I don't feel like it's worth the time. I don't feel like anything is going to come out of it. I don't feel like that's really going to get anywhere. And then once they successfully get in your head and discourage you, and you stop being you and you stop doing what you love, 2 weeks later, they're going to go and do it. 2 weeks later, they're going to be doing the exact same thing that they convinced you to stop doing. Or they're going to start acting the exact same way they convince you to stop acting. Why are you letting people get in your head? As an adult who's trying to live in power, nobody should be able to get in your head. Because people are inherently insecure. And they will do whatever mental manipulation they have to do to get you out of purpose so they can replicate your purpose or act like your purpose is theirs. People's goal is to get you out of purpose. Okay? So you have to have a strong mind where you're like, oh, I know what you're doing. I know why you're telling me that I need to tone it down and I'm too much. You're saying that because my confidence makes you insecure. I don't need to tone anything down, and you know that. My confidence just bothers you. You don't like it. So because of that, you're trying to villainize it. So that by villainizing it, I don't like myself. And then when I don't like myself, it'll give you the opportunity to act like me so you can get ahead. That's like when Nicki Minaj was so animated. When she first came out, she was so animated and they hated her for it. But they don't understand that her being animated is what separates her from the bunch. That's what makes her authentically herself. That's what pushes her ahead. It's her being animated. But they try to bully her out of that so that they can try being animated to get the results that she gets. Thank God she never allowed anybody to get in her head. You gotta really learn this game of life so that you don't get trampled, because some people will literally sit there and pick a person apart, pick somebody's personality apart, pick the way someone dresses apart, pick the way someone works apart, pick someone's, approach to life apart. But then what they really want is for that person to feel so bad. They want that person that they're picking apart to feel so low. So at that person's lowest point, they can take it all and replicate it and make it work for them. This is why when it comes to people, I stopped listening to people a long time ago. When it comes to the way I live my life, when people talk, I let it go in my ear and out the other. Because I've had enough experiences in life where the same thing that people would break me down for, 2 weeks later, they would replicate it. So I don't listen to what people say. I have discernment. If there's anything in me that needs to be fixed, God will let me know about it. But I don't really listen to people like that. Because people approach life from such an insecure corner that the same thing they're telling you that you need to work on is what they secretly envy about you. You will meet someone say, oh, why are you always at that gym? You need to give the gym a break. You work out too much. You're always at that gym. That's not good for your knees. But they want you to stop working out so that Ozempic that they're taking, it can work in time so they can out of nowhere become much slimmer than you, because in their mind, they're comparing themselves to you. So you got to really be careful with, I always tell people, unless you're learning something from this person to better your life or to master yourself, stop listening to people. Most people are telling you things from an insecure, envious, jealous spirit. And they're trying to get you to feel insecure about yourself because they're secretly jealous of those traits that you have. And they want to exacerbate those traits within themselves and replicate them so they can get ahead. Like me, I'm a very smart woman. In the past, people would always try to get me to second guess my intelligence. They would do things or leave out information to make me look dumb, because they're actually the dumb ones, but they feel like they have to make me feel dumb so they can start adopting some of the things that I do on a day-to-day and then throwing it back in my face while breaking me down about what I do. This is what happens in narcissistic families. They'll beat on the scapegoat and pick the scapegoat apart, but all the cousins and aunts and uncles are going to start doing exactly what that scapegoat does. With that scapegoat that they were bullying out of their personality, bullying. Some families will know that they have the scapegoat loves art, right? She or he is an artist. They'll be like, oh, stop doing all that art. You're wasting your money on that art. Nobody's ever going to buy your stuff. You're never going to become famous on that art. And then 2 weeks later, their daughter has just enrolled in art school. People want to stop being you so you can be you. I'm never going to stop being myself. And I rarely take in what people say to me in regards to my personality. Because my life in the past, I've dealt with so much jealousy and envy from women in particular, and they've tried to gaslight me so many times out of who I really am because they want to be it. I don't really listen to what people have to say about me on a personal scale, because most people are talking from a place of insecurity. Most people are talking from a place of lack and jealousy. So as you grow, you have to learn how to really, put earplugs on when you're dealing with people, because they're going to talk so much crap to you when in reality, they want you to stop being you so they can be you. So you're going to stop. Like, some people will envy the fact that you have boundaries. They're too weak to speak up. They will envy the fact that you have boundaries. So what they're going to do is they're going to try to silence you and then replicate that entire persona. Silence you to replicate that entire persona, right? And this is something that I'm always preparing women for. I promise you, that girl that claims that she cannot stand you, she wants you to second guess yourself. She wants you to dim your light. She wants you to stop popping out. She wants you to stop stepping out. She wants you to stop putting your all into your craft so that she can do it the way you do it. Okay? So women have to be, this is a tactic that women use all the time. It's let's team up and break her down, make her feel like she's not wanted, make her feel like her personality is a problem, make her feel like she's obnoxious, but secretly we're going to replicate her behind the scenes. We're going to do everything just like her. We're going to follow her model. But in front of the world, we're going to gaslight her and make her the bad guy. That's what they did to Miss Nicki Minaj. Yes, she is the queen of rap. That she is. And if anybody doesn't like it, then continue to live in your delusion. But you know she's the queen. You may not like her. You may be too jealous of her to admit it. But she is the queen of rap. And they tried so hard to get her to not like herself so that she can shy away into a corner and never put out albums so the other ladies can now have a chance to chart. Because as long as Nicki charts, no one else can. And they know that because the numbers speak for themselves. So you have to pay attention to that gaslighting tactic that men and women like to use to get you to stop being you so that they can be you, okay? Some people don't want you to be you because they want to be you. So they want you to stop being yourself, and they want you to stop showing up and showing out as your authentic self because they want to be you instead. and you showing up as your authentic self, it's now serving as a problem for them because they want to be you. They know how raw you are. They know how cool you are. They know how interested your personality is, how interesting you are, how animated you are, how fun you are, how you draw in attention. And it's like, stop being you, because I've already studied your personality enough. So stop being you so I can be you. It's truly sick. It's really sick. It's very telling. Some people, even in the workplace, stop working hard because I've learned your work ethic and I want to do it now, and so that I can get the same results. People are weird, especially women. Women are very, very weird, and they like to take on another woman's persona as their own so they can get the same results. So they want you to stop being yourself so they can be you. I remember there was a time I went to a church, and I would always dress my best and look my best and, 6-inch heels, looking good, slacks, looking like a baddie. And the girls hated it and would say, oh, your heels are too high, or, your heels, and And then, I calmed down on the heels because I don't want to hear nobody's mouth. This was years ago, before I am who I am now, right? Because if it was now, I would say, if you don't get out of my face, like, I'm a grown woman, please don't come over here and think you can dictate what I do with my life. Please get out of my face. But this was me years ago, where I was actually watering myself down for other people. I don't ever do that now. But that's what happened back then. And guess what? The minute I started wearing lower heels, now all the girls that were complaining about it are now wearing the same leveled heels that I was wearing. So stop being you so I can be you. What you ladies have to understand is some girls, they know you're the ish, right? They know that you got the sauce. They know that you have it going on. So they're going to try to adopt your personality. They are going to try to trash talk you while simultaneously trying to be you. So as they trash talk you and separate people from you, the people that were attracted to you are now going to be attracted to them because they're the bootleg version of you. It's all a master plan. I always tell women the number one thing that you should be doing as a woman is being authentically yourself. As long as they can't get rid of the original, they will always be the bootleg. And the problem is some originals let their guard down and they let a woman push them out of their spot so they can take it. And you have to be very weak-minded to allow a woman to come in and take from you and take what's yours. Okay? That's why as women and men, you got to learn how to be sharp. You got to learn how to be sharp and understand when somebody is on a mass rampage to steal your identity and get rid of you and take your spot. If you're smart, they never can. They never can because you know what's going on. They tried that with Nicki Minaj several times. She was hip to the game, right? Everybody was saying, oh, she's a mean girl. She doesn't like to share. She doesn't like to... No, she knows that they were trying to make another version of her, a bootleg version of her. And she was like, I worked so hard. You would be damned if I give up my crown and give up and allow you guys to run me out. So the bootleg version that you guys put the pieces together like a robot can come in. That's not going to happen. So that's why Nicki Minaj remains the number one female rap artist till this very day. Because she didn't allow anyone to make her stop being her so they can be her. So a lot of people want you to stop being you so they can be you. They're hoping that you fall off for a couple of days so they can gather what they learned from you and implement it while you've fallen off, right? That's why the girl or the man, the woman or the man at your workplace that hates your personality because it's so interesting and people like it, and they hate your work ethic because your boss loves it, you'll notice that when you go to maternity leave or you go on sick leave, you're going to come back and that person is going to be a photocopy of you. They're going to be dressing like you, walking like you, talking like you, putting their work together like you, putting their presentation together just like you, because they wanted you to stop being you so they can be you. I had a guy that I worked with. He did that to me. This was years ago. He hated how my boss liked me. My boss loved me. And he hated how my boss loved me. And he hated me. But guess what? His hate for me didn't stop him from replicating me. So he would pay attention to the way I put presentations together. He would pay attention to the way that I maneuvered with the independent contractors. He paid attention to my schedule, meaning the day that I would put out, the graphics, the day that I would put out charts, the day that I would put out statistic data, the model that I would follow that I created myself. Yeah, he replicated all of that, even though he hated me. And he claimed that I took my job too seriously. And he claimed that I worked too much. But when I left on sick leave and I came back, he was doing exactly what I was doing, to the point where he was even parking in the same parking space that I parked in. So the worst thing you can do, especially as a woman, because this is very popular in the community of women bullying another girl, saying, oh, I don't like her personality. I don't like her. She thinks she's all that. She thinks she's superior. She thinks she's untouchable. She thinks she's better than everyone. Okay, so why when I get out the way, you're up my you-know-what? Why? If my personality is so terrible and I'm so off-putting, and you don't like me and I'm too much, then why are you copying what I do? Why are you trying to put your work together in a way in the workplace that I do? You're putting your files together how I put my files together. You're literally following the model that I created independently, but you don't like me, right? So you got to understand, some people want you to stop being you so they can be you, because they see how far being you has gotten you. Now they want you to stop that. They're going to villainize you for being you. They want you to stop that so they can do it and get results. This is why I always tell people, you have to stop apologizing and stop caring who likes you and who doesn't. Because I promise you, majority of the people who don't like you want to be you. And majority of the people who don't like you because they can't get next to you. And a lot of the people who don't like you because they'll never get any type of acknowledgement from you, because you and them are not on the same level. So they're making you pay for that by disliking you and telling people, I don't like her personality. I don't like the way that she's that. That's like when Cardi B was saying, Nicki thinks she's this, Nicki thinks she's that. Okay, so then why didn't you ask Remy to give you a feature? If Nicki's so awful, why are you asking Nicki to give you one? Ask Remy to give you a feature. Ask Bianca to give you one, since they're better. No, you just want Nicki to stop being her so you can be her. That's really what it's about. Or you want to be her friend and she wasn't interested, so you retaliated on her. But really, you want what she has. You wanted what she had. You wanted her to hop on songs with you because you know that she got that heat. You just don't want to admit it. And this is something that women do all the time. But the thing is, once you become smart about the way women operate, they're not going to be able to do these things with you, because you're going to know what the real deal is. So never stop being yourself for anyone. You're not going to be everyone's cup of tea, and that's completely fine. But don't stop being you, because I promise you, you're somebody's secret muse. And when you stop being you, they're going to try and be you. Okay? When you stop being you, they are going to try and be you and make it work for them. Even though they're going to be the bootleg version, though. They're going to be bootleg. But, there's bootleg in everything, and people will still make a purchase. So you have to make sure that you're always authentically yourself, and you're showing up and you're showing out. Because I promise you, majority of the people who don't like you because they secretly wish they had your confidence, wish they had your work ethic, wish they could light up a room the way you light up the room. And they're too insecure to admit that I wish I had your sauce. I wish I had your flow. They're not going to tell you, I wish I could, get on the court like you. I wish I could, do my gymnastics like you. I wish I could be the same dancer as you. They're not going to tell you that. They're just going to villainize you and say they don't like you. But in reality, they want to be you. And they want you to stop being you so they can give it a try, because they see how much it works for you. Okay? Identity theft.